What
Yeah.
time is it? 10:30? Oh yeah, those dudes are done working out. Talking about where we're going for lunch. Come on, that's a good training day right there. Get yourself some sunshine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all the stuff that goes into kind of that third thing. I'm about to cough my head off,
Oh, well,
so
that's all right. I'll
stand
talk
by.
about it real quick. But one of the things that you got to make sure that you're prepping for, and this is super easy, and you should already have this done anyway, is making sure that all of your bills and everything are on auto draft and that kind of stuff. Because last thing you need is to have to go and, you know, go online and pay a bill. And why would you leave that to whoever you're leaving behind anyway? Or if you're single, just have it on auto draft and then boom, it's done.
Who
And
doesn't
just
have
like we had
auto
kind
pay?
of alluded to is your vehicle. Like you got to leave your
Oh yeah.
vehicle. What are you going to do with it? You going to leave it at the squadron? Okay, that's fine. You can leave it there. You going to leave it at the house? That's cool too. But man, you better have somebody who's going to drive that thing around occasionally or leave it on a trickle charger, because your chances of your tires being bad or dry rotted or your battery being dead is likely. I can't tell you how many times, especially at the 2.2, because you got that cold weather that zaps it, and the engines never get turned or rarely get turned, or somebody forgets because they're also going TDY. So you're leaving all your keys for the dudes to go, hey, go drive my truck around or whatever. And funny
That's
enough,
the lunch vehicles, dude. That just
yeah,
goes by the front door of the team room. You're like, whose car am I taking today?
yeah, exactly. Got all these keys.
You're just out in the parking lot, so you don't even necessarily know. You're just like, boop, boop, boop. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, what's up? I used to
But I
leave my
mean,
keys. I did that all the time at the unit. I've never
yeah,
had a car that I done. If I'm at the unit and I was working, I would just leave my keys in my truck. And people, like anything. It was in my Jeep for a long time, and then when I moved over to the Civic, and then now the Cherokee that I have now, or whatever.
yeah.
But I always would just leave my keys in there. People are like, why do you do that? I'm like, well, if somebody needs it, first of all, they can just they know they can just grab it and go run their errand or do whatever they want to do. But if somebody needs to move it or whatever, I'm going to be in this vault with no windows and no cell phone. You're not going to be able to get a hold of me anyway.
Yep.
So if you need to move it or if something's happening, or if you need something, like, just go take it and make sure to leave it. Like, don't lock my keys in my truck. Call it good.
Yeah,
from there.
I mean, I would always leave my keys in the car and leave it unlocked. It's on base, dude. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah. Can I just say for a second too? This is just a me and you thing. Nothing ever annoyed me more than the time that I had your Tesla up here in the PNW over that winter. Oh my dude! Every third day, I'd have to. The only turbocharger was in Auburn, so it's like a 30-minute drive ish from Graham, where we were living.
Yeah,
I would just see.
I
I'd be on my
owed you
phone.
a bottle of whiskey for that.
I'd be on my phone and I'd be watching the Tesla. And I'd just be like, oh my God, I need 30% to just drive up there to charge to get home. And then it's only 80%. And every time it goes down, it's like, I would just watch it like tick off because it was cold. Like the cold was just sapping the battery.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my fucking peaches, god dang. Oh man.
See, that's not so none of that impacts anything as long as you have a charger at the house.
Yeah.
If you have a charger at house, that is not a factor whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, you wake up in the morning and you're always on full.
Right.
You know, like you never have to go to the gas station. But if you're in a situation like that, yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I probably should have given you a bottle,
It got me good.
Whiskey.
No, I do not care. It was fine. I just laughed too. I'd laughed. We would just take this trip. I'd be like sitting there watching Netflix while we're charging, just nodding people. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
what's up, bro? Good ramen spot up there. Anyway.
Ooh, I do like some ramen.
Oh,
you know what else I like? I like Hoist.
I love Hoist. I love
Hoist
that drink. Hoist. That Blaze Orange, that collabo with Realtree, which is a dope brand as well. But yeah,
so
really
speaking
good.
Of which, you know how I told you last week that I asked Wyatt to leave me some?
None. Gone.
None.
Get out of here. It doesn't last over here either. The Love household, you better forget about it. That Hoist is going down ASAP.
Appreciate it.
I know.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Come back from a trip, but I got nothing.
Didn't even leave you a one. Didn't even give you the bro deal of you know what I'm going to do, Dad? I'm not going to drink your last one. I'm going to leave the last one here, but that's how good it is.
I already had this one on the desk and it was already open. He's not going to grab that one. So
I have no doubt. Hey, I licked this one. Just start writing on it. Do not drink.
Yeah, don't drink. This has got a J written on it. But yeah, drinkhoist.com, promo code one's ready, get yourself a discount. You can also go grab them from commissaries and HEBs and
Yeah, pull it
Kroger's
up.
and all
You
that
can
kind of
find them
stuff.
everywhere now. It's good. Every
Yeah.
time I walk around in a new store and I see a good hoist display, I'm like, yeah, my boys will.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
That deployment life is real though, and it can become a grind for sure. But one of the things that the kind of newer generation is concerned about is whether or not they're going to get a deployment or whether or not they're going to get in a gunfight. Well, one is careful what you wish
Yeah,
for, but I
caveat
get it.
emptor,
Like
my
I
friend. Yeah.
love, like, hey man, let's be real. A gunfight is fun. It is. Getting into a troops in contact can be fun. Now it can be sketch too, right? It can be so sketch, and
Yes, it
people
can.
can get hurt or die. Yeah, for sure. But I'll tell you what, you will never feel an adrenaline rush like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is addictive. It is so addictive.
Well, I mean, it's any near death experience, right? Like you cheated death. You got into a scenario where it was you or somebody else, and you went home and you ate dinner, and you're going to do it again the next day. And there's something visceral about that win, like that is ingrained into who we are as men. Like whatever trope you want to put on it, it's why we idolize samurai and Vikings and ninjas and spies and dudes that are really good at their craft, and all these these archetypes of maleness is like we want to be tested and end up winning. Like, and of course it's addictive. Like, and you'll see people chase that too. Like how many of our friends just absolutely ruin their lives, just for one more deployment, dog. Like, man, was it 3 or 4 at this point? 3 or 4, close friends, close friends. A couple, unfortunately passed away, and then a couple more, really, their lives are just in shambles. And it was really that time period of, man, like 100% just functioning alcoholic, never really home, just looking for the next trip. They did not care about anything other than being downrange as much as they possibly could, getting there and like weaseling themselves into extensions on deployments. Like you've never heard about that ever. Like, going back, dudes doing like short tours and shit, going to different areas and getting away with the dwell ratio of nothing, just ridiculous.
Just one more mission before going home. And that's fine, because I don't begrudge them. Like I get it. I 100% get it. But you would totally see those dudes come back from deployment and functioning alcoholic. But to get that thrill and that adrenaline, maybe they ride a motorcycle or something like that, and they would be hauling ass everywhere. I mean, just to get that feeling. And I mean, I think that's one of the things that we're seeing now, and that's not just our generation or our kind of career fields, right? We're that's why they have that whole operator syndrome thing now, because we have adrenal fatigue and all, among a whole bunch of other stuff, concussions, TBIs, that whole deal. But man, going back to what I was talking about, that first troops in contact, and you perform and you feel that validation. So you get the adrenaline, but then you feel that validation of like, because that's what a lot of people wonder. And that's why people are like, dude, let me get on deployment. Let me get in a fight. Am I going to deploy? Because they need that validation. Everything that I think, how I'm going to act, all this training that I have done, all this assessment and selection that I have done to do this. And I need validation of how I'll actually act when some shit goes down.
Right. Yeah.
And I get it. I relate to it. And
yeah, because did I waste my time or not? Am I any good at this or not? Like, should I continue? Like you're that deployment could be another 15 years of your life. Like if that deployment goes well, like that could be like, I want this to be my career, and then I'm going to continue chasing, this life forever. Or it could be, you get back and you're like, nah, F this, I'm out. That deployment sucks. It's not what I wanted. I didn't ever get that validation that I felt like I needed. Hey, it's time to look other places for that validation. I've seen it that way too. So yeah, that first deployment and that first experience is important.
It is, and it really can set the tone for the rest of your career. Not that you can't adjust that, but yeah, you're right. If you come back from deployment, You sat on your ass. You didn't do anything, and you had a bunch of people who were scared to leave the wire. Like there have been teams that people have been attached to. In fact, I was actually attached to one of them as well. It was an ODA team, and they, before getting there, they had hit a bad IED, and one person had died, and they didn't recover from it. The ODA team did not recover. They were just I for lack of a better word, in their feels or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know, and get it, man. You lost a brother. Like I'm not discounting that at all, but they were done, and they still, we were there for months, and we didn't leave the wire, I think, but one time, and it was playing it safe because they were too gun shy to go back out.